been chosen to govern a land of great peril and promise. It has suffered long from the scourge of banditry, but there is another threat, an illegitimate baron who claims the northern territories as his own. Will you prove yourself worthy of this honor, or will you perish by the traitor's steel?
Hello everyone and welcome to another IndieX 2024 session. Today we're going to be playing Manor Lords, super in-depth strategy game which features like extensive city builder elements, massive tactical battles, even social, let's say society simulation features. So it's a really in-depth game and I'm looking forward to diving into it today and seeing how much I can showcase from it. It's just a warning, it's a super deep game. So what you're going to see today is probably very much like the start of an actual campaign, or let's say a play session. So if it sparks your interest, do check it out because it's on early access. You can get it right now. And it's, as I mentioned, a super deep game. Today it will be a solo session, so we don't have anyone from the dev team, but I'm sure I will do my best to answer your questions. If you have questions, leave them in the Twitch chat. And without further ado, we can jump into the game actually, because I want to try and use the most of the time that we have today to go and try to showcase Manor Lords in depth. So right off the bat, we have to pick. Yes, we can go with this very nice looking fellow here. And we can just go and pick something nice. Let's go with a traditional. We have a cross. Yeah, we kind of have a cross. Go with that cross. The scale. A nice blue. And that's okay, I think. As you can see, you have pretty in-depth things. You can make your own shield with all these signs. You can increase the number of instances, so you can have as many as you want. You can increase and decrease the scale of your cross on the shield. So lots and lots of stuff that you can actually customize just in the beginning already. Today I'm thinking you have several template scenarios you can go for. I'm thinking of just going for something to highlight more the city building aspect so that you're not stressing too much with military or raiders or other things. So I think we should go with a rise to prosperity scenario. As you can see, there's no off-map adversaries, and we can just kind of chillax, relax, and try to build a nice city. Manor Lords has been quite well reviewed. It's already a quite big game. It's one of the biggest games I think we have in the X. But it did start as a solo dev project, so you can kind of imagine how far you can go actually as a solo dev if you really know your genre well, if you have you really dedicate yourself to including the types of mechanics that your players like. So because this is a great example of what a solo dev can actually do. As I mentioned before, the game is extremely in-depth. It's still in early access, so you can actually buy it. You can give feedback to the dev. It's still being worked on. For sure, it's going to grow in the future, but you can already get your money's worth from it, in my opinion. So our goal is to reach the large town settlement level. I don't think we'll be able to, as I mentioned before, but let's do our best to kind of go in that direction at least. Let's immediately pause the game because I don't want time to go on. Okay, yes, we need food and fuel. We need some supplies. And of course, we need to also build some kind of storage because our food spoils if it's outside. So let's kind of just take a small look at what we have here. What do we have here? Okay, this is our almost people stand. It's very good to start, of course. Can get some supplies. They are just out in the wild, hitching post. Nice, so we can have actually some nice oxes for transportation and some supplies. Okay, good, good. Let's check out the territory first. I think it's very important to see what we actually have because we need to be, for example, let's zoom even out more. This is kind of the whole map that you have. You can go into it and like you will be able to, as you progress, lay claim or do trade with these other regions. But in the beginning, you only control this region right here, and you only have a limited amount of resources. So it's very important before you start building to look at what you actually have. So we do have a berries deposit and a wild animals deposit. I think all territories have one of those. That's basically for food. I have a rich stone deposit, so we might be able to do something with stone there. We have some iron and some clay, so not too much, but should be enough for now. Asphodel asking in the chat, do I think it's a game for hardcore RTS fans only? You do need to be open if you're not like a huge RTS fan. You do need to be open to having some trouble in the beginning, let's say, just to getting around, just getting used to the stuff, because it does work a little bit different from what I would say a normal RTS behaves, and it's certainly not as handholdy. So it's very important the way you build your city actually. So where do you put your buildings, your marketplace? That's something we're going to see further. How do you build your roads? So it can be tricky if you're really not into hardcore aspects. I think if you can, as a non-hardcore RTS fan, get into it and learn how to play, but you need to be open to some initial friction, let's say. I think we should start off, since we don't have so much timber, we should start with some timber production with a logging camp. Let's kind of check where we have some good resources. Okay, we have some nice here. We can actually put it here. I think that would be pretty good. Because one thing is, if you build, if you start cutting down trees around animal areas, for example, this will eventually leave them to leave. So you would actually lose this resource. It's very valuable, and you need this. So we should actually think about building it somewhere a little bit more far away, not too far away, but I think here should be fine. We should build it here. Let's also think about road building. Okay, so here we see unassigned families. It's up here. That's our population. This is people who are assigned. They immediately start working on construction. Okay, yeah, good. So let's first kind of build out some roads so that we can actually connect our buildings and make it easier for our people to get around. Okay, you have these immediate connection points here that you can follow. Helps a lot with that. Let's try also to get something here. How can we get that? We can probably build a little bit around. Let's get that done. That's gonna still get built. So probably get us on a good way. Let's just get on with that. We should probably have 8 timber. Okay. We should probably think about building something else. In my view, we should be building No, we don't need firewood yet. It's okay. We're in spring. In winter, it's actually very necessary. Forester's hut. So this hut makes it so you can reforest your trees, so that you're not just cutting down trees, but you're actually then also planting trees. It's very important usually that you build these kind of buildings next to each other. Let's try not to destroy a lot of trees because they're actually a resource, right? So I would say we can build one here. Okay, good. Let's try and let's stop this building because I want them to build the first logging one. Here we see our guys walking around. Okay. Should be seeing some resources pop up as soon as that thing gets built. So let's try and fast forward a little bit just for that sake. What else can we do? Okay, hunting camp, foraging huts, fisherman hut, foraging huts. We should create one. We have here some wild berries. Where can we actually build a foraging hut? Can we build it closer? Probably. If we build a marketplace here, we can build the houses around there. We build here. Foraging hut, and then we can build a road. So let's think about the road. Let's pause here a little bit. And let's try and understand how to better get there. Okay. As I mentioned, it's really a lot about actually city planning. You cannot just decide you want to build something here or something there. The positioning of buildings in relation to each other matters a lot. So for sure, it is something that you need to be aware of. Okay. Have a lot more stuff we can build. Mining pits, stone cutter camps. We should actually build probably a granary and a storage house within the side valleys. Okay, so we have logging camp done. We need to actually then go into there and actually assign a family, right? We have here 5 unassigned people. When we assign someone to the building, the production starts on the timber, and then we'll have more timber actually to build because we don't actually have that much timber at the moment, and we really need it to start building. It's one of the most important resources. Let's also get this going. I think it's actually being built at the moment. No. Now it's under construction, so we can proceed. This I think is also the construction, so we can just carry on with that. And as we get some more timber, we can actually start and build more stuff. So that's very important to keep our foods and our other resources good. We should definitely build some form of storehouse. Storehouse can be probably closer here to timber. I can build it here. Good. What do we need? Exposed goods, pantries, yeah, generic storage, exactly. That's what we're actually building now, right? So that's a storage, and now we need to build a granary to keep some of our food. Granary should be closer to, we do not have enough goods actually, so we need a little bit more timber. So we need to wait a little bit, and then we shall be able to actually build our granary. Here, as you see, there's months before remaining food supplies run out. That's why we're building here the foraging hut, because we need to gather food. Otherwise, we'll be in deep trouble, and that's before we can even get started on growing our population and building houses for them. So now we have enough. Okay, we should then now build a granary. That should be good for us. We should then start being able to store our food actually. We're just about to finish this. And that's already immediately put someone in the foraging hut because we need food. We're running out of it. We're not consuming fuel for now because we don't have houses. That's something that's going to happen later when we start building houses. And, okay, we have the storehouse. For now, we don't need to, but you can start moving stuff to the storehouse as well. We don't have a lot of workers at the moment that we need. And we should definitely start thinking about what else do we need. So we probably need something like a sawmill, I'm assuming. And at some point we need to start building houses. Okay, so this is something else I'm going to look. So you can look at underground water supplies here in the map. You see some different zones of like, okay, fertility for different kinds of cereal, but for now that doesn't really matter for us at all. Let's just see underground water, what we can do, and how much does a well cost. A well costs 1, so we need for sure some drinking water in some place, but we do need a marketplace. I think we should first go for the woodcutter's lodge to build firewood, because we are going to definitely need it, that's for sure. So we should get started on that. Okay, people are building here also. Are we producing food? That's my question. This is a foraging hut. For now, no. Not really. I guess it's because it's so far away from the berries, right? So let's see if they start giving us something. Let's run the time. Okay. Production should then go there. Woodcutter's Lodge should also be good. And then we can think about starting on the marketplace, which is super important for upgrading our houses later. Because as we have a marketplace, we can then start putting food in the stalls. We can start putting other stuff in the stalls. So it's very important. This will allow us to upgrade our houses. Can I find the marketplace? The moment doesn't matter. Logistics, no, here, residential. Okay. So the marketplace, here we are. Should build a marketplace close to where we actually want to build our houses. So let's first take a kind of a look at our city. We don't want to build houses there, that's for sure. So this is going to be more a hunting place and maybe firewood place. Here also not. So we are definitely going to want to expand over here and over here. That's where going to be our stuff. So our marketplaces probably should be somewhere around here close, so that we can build kind of in this direction and in this direction. So let's go again in. Let's try to understand how big we can actually make our marketplace, because that's something also that as you define the size, that defines the number of stalls you can have. This is really very precise kind of game. So let's just think about it. Let's just okay. How many stalls? That's, I think, too much. We don't need that many at this time. Yeah, exactly. More market area for their stall. So that's actually what we do need to build. Okay, a little bit smaller. We don't need a huge marketplace. Okay, I think that should be fine. Let's get it done. Yeah, assigned families will set up stalls automatically. Exactly. And we have supply and demand. We can generate actually some wealth for ourselves. Do we have? No, it's still not done. Are we producing food? That's the question I want to have. Still very slow, not really producing food. Where can I get food? Food, here. Yeah, we don't have berries. We're not producing berries. Even though advanced, we have unlimited work area, right? Exactly, okay. Let's try and reduce that, that's good. Go into the forester's hut. Then we want the woodcutter's lodge to start working. And the marketplace to be finished. Good. And after that, we can actually start thinking about houses. What is we have? We have 4 timber. We have 4 and 1. Okay. I'm curious as to why this is not generating berries. I think we have to go closer. If we do, then I think we demolish this. And let's actually build something a little bit closer, which is annoying, because it's going to be far away from the city. But hey, you cannot control the ground. Let's go here. Let's kind of get done with the road. We have joined to this beautiful road right there. Exit this, supplies, granary. Do I have people running off to storage? We have. Okay, finally. We have people actually taking care of the storage, which is great. That's what we needed. And we still need the granary to start being built. Of course, that's not is manned. How much timber do we have? We have 6 timber, that's fine. Is anything else being built? No, that's just generic storage. Getting timber, that's great. I get a woodcutter's lodge soon. Should definitely hurry the food production up. That's the thing that's getting me concerned at the moment. Because without food, we cannot really feed our population. Okay, let's go and try and get some burgage plots done. So burgage plots is basically the houses here. So we do have enough timber, that's great. Go and do something like this. Let's see how much we can get to feed there. Okay. It should be fine for now. We can do this a little bit smaller. Okay, let's get it done. Still taking quite a while. Let's try and hurry up a little bit to get this stuff constructed. Okay, the woodcutter's lodge is done, so we can actually also get started on that. So now we can have some actually fuel, and hopefully we have stuff to build. I'm gonna pause the granary because the granary doesn't matter. Let's get this highest priority. Roger hut. That's what matters. Paused. Let's pause also. Pause. This is done. That's great. See if we can actually get the food going, because that's my main concern at this point in time. The problem here is that it is so far away that it's going to take quite a while. That's the major problem here. Okay, now we have some living space. That's great. Okay, we're at least getting some fuel. We're getting fuel. We're getting timber for more construction. But I'm still quite concerned that we cannot get this forager hut to be built, even though I've set it on the highest priority. Yeah, it has to do with the speed at which this cow is going. Let's try and move it. It's already 1 month gone, so we need to hurry up a little bit more. As long as we get that, we're going to be good. Yeah, that's what I thought. Because we don't have a granary, so we really need to take care of that. Otherwise the food's going to be gone. Yep. Let's pause that. Finally get some people on that food storage. We don't need fuel, so let's stop this woodcutter's lodge. Let's get some people on the food. We need to get that up and running as quick as possible. Fuel is going well. And once we have that, okay, we need to unassign someone, so let's unassign it, because we do need to build the granary. What else do we do not need? So we do not need to reforest a lot. I think at the moment it's still fine. Let's remove someone from there, get it on the food, so we can have 2 people on the food while still building our granary, because we do need to cover it. Is this part here? And yeah, then we need to actually take care of the houses, which is the next part, as they are already being built, but it takes some time. Okay. As you can see, a lot of this game is revolving around management of the families. You really have to pay attention to what they are doing. Do you have enough of them? If not, you have to build houses. But if you build houses, you have to make sure that you have enough food. And that's a big problem. That's something that actually we're not getting at the moment. Not sure why. Because we have here the wild berries and we have 2 people assigned to the forage hut, so we should be getting food at the moment. But for some reason, we are not getting food. We should have people. We have people on assigned, so they should be building it. It's just taking a long while. For some reason, the foraging people are also not getting food. It's a problem. Granary should be build. Okay, finally, we're actually now generating food, which is great, which was my major concern. Okay, the food stall is finished, so now we're going to be selling food and people are going to get happy. Just need the granary to get finished, so that we can actually get on. Yeah, so yeah, we need more food, I know. Finally, the granary's construction is done. Let's pause for a little bit just to see. We don't need anyone in the storage. I think the storage is great. We already have some materials kept inside there. Let's get those people onto the granary so that we can actually start sorting out our food, protecting our food, and let's carry on. Our houses should also be well on their way, I think, afterwards. Thankfully, yeah, it's coming up. Our resources are actually starting to climb a little bit, which is great. I think you can now slow down a little bit of the food production. Oh, nice. We actually have a new family, so we can actually keep this food production going, and we can start working on the food cutters. Okay, so we have to remove one family for the work, and let's continue working on the burgage plot. So this is kind of the burgage plot. This is what I meant before. This is where everyone's going to be built. We can build backyard extensions, and these are super useful because they kind of give you more food, vegetables, or for example, chicken and chickens, or for example, animal pens, where we can get a lot of more commodities, which is going to be great because it keeps your people healthy and fed. Chicken coop is good because it grows also in winter, so I think I'm going to start with that because we need food. So let's build a chicken coop. That went from our wealth here. We need to start generating wealth also. That's something else we need to start doing. So I would say what we can do is after the houses are finished being built, stop for a bit and check our stuff. How much do we have? Okay, berries we can still keep on picking, but that's fine. Have enough for 2 months. We need to get a little bit more food still in and a little bit fuel. I think is fine. Let's get someone. We have someone on the fuel one. Yeah, we have. Good. So what do we need? We need a trading outpost, I'm assuming, to start generating some wealth. Yep. Taverns, no. Wooden churches, no. Where is the trading outpost? Back station, storehouse, granary, fishing post. Commerce, yeah, trade. Okay, because we do need to start generating wealth because we're going to be using it in the houses to create other kinds of crops. So trading outpost doesn't need to be close to us at all. It should be where can we actually put trading outpost. Yeah, we can put it close to the food start. Put it there. Hopefully we have enough timber. Seems to be good. Because we do need to start generating wealth. Otherwise we're not going to get anywhere. Here, what will we build? We can build some vegetable gardens. That's great. And here you can see what I was mentioning before, that these requirements here, they are what you need to actually start leveling up your houses. And then after you level up your houses, you're going to start leveling up your settlement. And once you start leveling up your settlement, you get the chance to enable specializations, which allow you to build very specific things, which can help you become way more richer. And that's how you can kind of specialize as a farming city, as a farming city here, as a wood felling and hunting, more trade related, or more smithing. So you can really, really dive deep into this game and go far. Still need some more burgage plot. But how we are looking on timber. Timber is fine. Probably actually stop people from going timber. No, I think it's fine. Should do then. Let's finish up the construction on those houses. Still only 3 months. I really, for winter, I would like to. You don't need any more fuel, that's for sure. You can stop getting this fuel here, and we can focus on food. I think that's more important at the moment. As for winter, I really want to have some food, at least 5 months, because the berries stop growing in winter. As you see here, they're growing, and so we really need to stock up as we approach winter times. Trading outpost is still going to be worked on, I'm assuming. Yes. Great. So let's just try and how it's also being worked on. Let's move a little bit forward. Let's try and move faster. Okay, 3 months still in food. Okay, and we have a new house now. Have a new population. That's the problem. You get more population, you need more food. Okay, we're gonna need water access and the church level. And for market supply, we're gonna need fuel stall. We're gonna need some food stall and some clothing stall. How can we do that? Probably need to build another hitching post, I'm assuming, to get someone. Trade. Yeah. Okay, we're back again. Thanks to our doubled efforts here on the food effort. We're still at 3 months, but we do need to get up there. I don't think we have anyone on the fuel, right? That's fine. Do we have someone at the storage? No, we can open up a storage again at the Inky. We should ideally build a well already. Where did we have it? Well, great. We have water. The well should be close to the marketplace, so we can actually go there. I think that's fine. We're building the houses over here in this plot, so maybe we can put a well here. And at some point we should actually build a church as well. Okay, now we have some food stall supply, that's great. Gonna get some more. Water access is afterwards. Food is still 3 months. Forward a little bit faster. Let you see this being built. Okay, finally, we're up to 4 months of food. Here we need to unassign someone. Where can we unassign someone? So we have not foresters, logging. We don't need logs at the moment. I think we have a lot of timber. We have enough. And let them build a little bit. Yeah, the storage is okay. Great. And now let's try and see if it gets finally build a trading post. And then the well. Let's move. Food, we're kind of okay, I guess. Still need to build some more houses. That's kind of a problem that we have. Don't have enough wealth. That's why I want the trading station. So that gets done quick. Can we somehow... No, we don't have enough people. We could speed this up a little bit. Okay, so the well is done. That's great. We need to finish the trading post now, though. So, see what this it's like here. We have, yeah, now we have water access in these houses, which is very important. And we're also working on the market supply. It's actually going pretty well. But we're going to have to build a little bit more houses, and for that we need more wealth, I think. Can we already build these houses? I think so. Let's go a little bit. Build some roads first. I think that should be good. This house is here. We can build some more houses, ideally. Let's go for it. We need 2 more at least. No, it's too much. Okay, we don't need so many houses. I think we can do a smaller thing. This should be fine. Let's get it up. Okay, now we're getting close to being good. We can reduce our food consumption here. We can go back to maybe generating some fuel. We have a new hitching post. We can go to the trading post now. Let's go back to normal speed. Let's try and figure out what we can do actually. Are we building something? I mean, we want to build a house, so we need someone free. So we're gonna have to remove someone from something. We don't need a storehouse for now. No, we need the storehouse. We don't need fuel. We need the storehouse. Let's get someone on that. And let's get someone on the trading post. And let's see what we can actually do. Here we trade. What can we actually trade? Stones, banks. No, we done none of that. None of this. None of this. And we need too much of the food for ourselves. Now we have tools, but we don't want to trade that. Don't think we can trade too much at this point. unfortunately. See what we've got going on here. We have some people in the chat joining. Exorcist Pity asking how I am. I'm pretty fine. Having some trouble though with the game. It's quite complex. But hopefully we can kind of make it through. Let's see how these houses are doing. Da, 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 da. Okay. Should be fine for now. We have someone actually giving us timber. We don't. We have 17 timber, so we don't actually need that. We have enough food. We don't need anyone moving now to the granary, at least. I think it's fine. Okay, what else can we do then? We can try. We want to really yeah, we really have to get done with the houses, so I'm hoping that's what is being built. But we have someone free. With something else. At this point in time, might be too late for the animals. Maybe the clay deposit. Now let's still get the animals. I think the animals are going to give us a nice boost in food also. We can go where we can go through here. Let's put that. And let's get to the animals. Hunting camp. Here we go. Good. Then we can get some more food instead of just berries. This makes people happier. How is the process on the houses? It's taking a while. Let's jump a little bit ahead. Then we can kind of fix our homeless problem. It's a big part. Okay, let's see what else we can actually do. Still need to get someone back on the timber, I think. We have the hunting camp. Yeah, we cannot put someone on the hunting camp for now. Hopefully someone else decides to move into the new house. Then we will have fixed our homelessness problem. Actually, we can actually work on getting more people in, which is what we actually need, because we're having problems keeping the work up. Let's do that for a little bit. 5. Let me look. Okay, so we are now needing fuel, so let's get back on fuel. Then we're going to build an extra house to get started then on the next thing. Because then when we can get extra people in after we fix our homeless, so settlement of increase, that's what I want. Let's pause. And now I need to get more people in, but we can kind of start thinking about where we want to go. We do have a rich stone deposit. We can check if that has any, if we can actually do something with that. Otherwise, we're not too heavy on stuff. Let's check what we can do. So we can make apples, we can sheep breeding, heavy plows, plow stations. This one can be good, but how can we get more regional wealth? That's something I actually want to do. Probably need this for fuel efficiency. We're still way far away from the armorous stuff, so maybe we can have some honey. Can also double our wildberry production. That's good. Or we can start actually generating meat to sell. So this is where you really have to make decisions. This is when you're starting to decide, okay, what is this place? Because this is vial. When you move into other places, you can then do something else there. But here is where you really want to decide, okay, how am I actually going to get money? Because at a certain point, you're going to start to need regional wealth, and you can only get regional wealth if you have a specific product, which is very interesting here. I don't think we have a great chance, unfortunately, with our armor making, because it's going to take us a huge amount of time to get there. But I think we need to somehow maybe go for beekeeping. You can try it. I mean, our time is almost all done, actually, so let's see what actually we can do with beekeeping. Let's go. Should actually build another house, like, or more houses, not just another, because we want to house our food. Okay, food and fuel, need to get that back up a little bit, because we do need to keep increasing. So now, once you reach this part where you have enough houses for your population, you need to actually start. You need to actually buy more houses to increase your population steadily. And then when you have more people, you can have more buildings, because you can put more people in there. And then you can have production of more varied things, which then leads to accumulating regional wealth, which you can use to then do a lot of different things. And that's kind of the cycle of the game as we approach the end of our session today. That you need to be very careful about your food and fuel. There are ways to get higher food and fuel efficiency, of course. But the goal is that you can keep that, and that you put your resources and people to work to actually be able to get more food, more fuel, so that you can get more houses and more people to then build artisans, build armories. Because once you have specific reaches that other regions don't have, you can come to the trading outpost, and you can actually then trade these things for money, which will help you expand way faster. And that's kind of what we would like to do. So, for example, here, honey can be traded actually for some stuff. So I have to now figure out how can I actually make an apiary. I would assume it's around here. Maybe not. Oh yeah, here. So what do we need actually to build that is this planks. And to do that, we need another building. Here it is, Sopit, where you can actually make plants. So let's kind of get to it, I would say. It's great. We have 2 unassigned people, so we can kind of should actually look at, are we making fuel at the moment? We are, that's great. We should regrow somewhat, at least. Our food is actually not bad. So I don't think we need. Still have berries. But they're no longer growing. And we will have some in honey as well. For now, we're good. Yeah, but this is basically it. I mean, this is only the beginning, actually, of the city building aspect of Manor Lord. Then, as I mentioned before, like, you have to lay claim to other regions, either by military force or by influence, which you generate by becoming wealthy and a trader. You can have large-scale battles, grow armies. You can have social parts of the game, but the game is just way too vast to get started on it. But it's super in-depth. It's quite realistic, very historically accurate. And if you are interested, you should definitely check it out. As I mentioned, this was just a very small glimpse of what the game has to offer. It's currently on early access, so it's going to keep improving, but it's already has pretty high ratings. So I think you should definitely look out for the game. I think already someone left it in the chat, the link to the page, so you can check it out. But that is probably it for our session today. I hope you enjoyed it. Stick around. We still have more streams today. I think the next one will be at 7 Central European Standard Time with Preem. So make sure to join. And from my side, that was it with Manor Lords. I hope I have been able to showcase the game. It's very, very complex. but it's also very interesting and very relaxing, at least for me. And with that, I say thank you once again for joining. Thank you for your interest, and we'll see us again in a little bit. So, goodbye.
You have been chosen to govern a land of great peril and promise. It has suffered long from the scourge of banditry, but there is another threat, an illegitimate baron who claims the northern territories as his own. Will you prove yourself worthy of this honor, or will you perish by the traitor's steel?